Bonjour, je suis Nina Saidi from Lowen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonjour, je suis Shem Lucas from Lowen. I play guitar.
So I'm the singer. I also play other instruments in the band. We're a Middle Eastern progressive doom metal band, so we fuse the music, the traditional music of the Middle East, with really heavy, raw metal. So we started in a kind of funny way. I was at a heavy metal concert of the band Akakoka. They're like an underground London black and death metal band. And this guy taps me on the shoulder and we start talking, and they're both our favorite band.
Okay.
They were like the first metal band I ever listened to. I love them. And we just ended up like shouting the lyrics together, our arms around each other. We just became best friends straight away. And during this show, I was like, you know what I've always wanted to hear is like Middle Eastern death metal with like clean traditional sung vocals. And then a few weeks later he sent me a demo, and then I replied to him with vocals over it, and voila, Lowen was born. So we released our first album in 2018. We have an acoustic EP that's pretty much fully improvised, sung in Sumerian and Akkadian, came out in 21. And now we're working on our second full album. It's going to be like super progressive, even more Middle Eastern, but with like super heavy death metal inspired instrumentation. That's hopefully going to come out next year. We have shows coming up in the UK at Doom Lines, which is going to be like a really fun show, really good underground stoner acts. We have more to announce. We can't say too much, but we're hoping that maybe someone will invite us to Europe. We would love to play France. Yeah,
absolutely. We'd love to play abroad. We're really lucky. We've got lots of fans in lots of different countries. People are always buying our merch and stuff like that from all over the world. And we're really blessed to have so many people really like the music we make. So we'd love to play everywhere we can.
They're usually quite surprised. Yeah. Quite often we start our shows like with just vocals, and people don't really know what to expect. So there's often like a stunned silence, and then just like some gaping and surprise. But we enjoy to see it. Yeah.
There's not a lot of mosh pits when we play. I think most people tend to. It's kind of almost more of an experience. I think where people kind of. I'm okay with people not moving when we're playing, because you don't need to like throw yourself around to have a good time. And quite often I go to watch other bands and I just stand and appreciate the other people's playing, like their ability, and I get inspired by other musicians. So I'm totally happy with people not throwing themselves around. But having said that, some of the songs on the new album are quite inspired by like brutal death metal bands and bands like Dying Fetus and things like this as well.
Immolation, Bolt Thrower.
A lot of this kind of stuff is inspiring us for our next record. So I don't know, maybe when the newer, heavier stuff comes out, maybe the crowd reaction might change, but I guess we'll wait and see.
I would really love a circle pit. Just one circle pit.
One circle.
Yeah, I would like one circle pit. I started playing music when I was 3. So I started playing the piano at 3, the violin at 6, the saxophone at 7. I play lots of folk instruments. I grew up extremely musical. In Iran, it's illegal for women to sing. You can be killed for singing as a woman in Iran if there's not a man with you, and heavy metal is illegal as well. So very early on I learned that music is a form of resistance, of giving yourself power. I've always been really inspired by music, and Akakoka was a big band for me. System of a Down when I was young. I love, again, they have these incredible vocals and like these instrumentation that's super heavy at the same time, and I really wanted to have like my own version of that to hear, like there's Iranian and also European and international, hopefully we'll get to that point. How about you?
A lot of my uncles were musicians and played in like bluegrass bands and stuff, so I have 14 aunts and uncles on my mother's side, and when I was a kid we used to go camping, and they'd have a huge cauldron, they'd make loads of food, and everyone would sit around the fire and play acoustic guitar and sing. So ever since I was a child I've kind of been surrounded by it too. When I was young, my mum used to play a lot of like Metallica and stuff like this, kind of around the house, Depeche Mode as well. Just lots of really heavy stuff like Megadeth, things like this I grew up with, so it's very normal for me. So as soon as I got a little bit older, I started to experiment more with more kind of like avant-garde stuff, more different kinds of styles, post-punk, things like this, a lot of goth music. I like quite a broad range of different things, and in terms of my playing, I wasn't always the best player. I didn't necessarily take it that seriously, but I think when we started the band, I made a very concerted effort to really study and try to become a better musician and try to be inspired and learn from other people. And I really enjoy it. I try to play the guitar every day if I can.
We would love to. We're kind of waiting to be invited. It's like very difficult because of stupid UK politics for us to organize a tour. But we're very much hoping, especially with the next album, to be able to play some European shows and get out to the international audience, because we love the shows in Europe. We come to Hellfest every year because the atmosphere here is just so diverse, people are so welcoming, and the lineups are so good. So hopefully we would love to be in Europe, especially France. We have an incredible underground scene in the UK. There's so many incredible bands, and France has like there's some really good black metal in France. There's like great black metal scene. There's some like really good underground stoner and doom and stuff, and like you've got like Benighted, like amazing death metal bands as well, for sure. Oh, playlist. I've got some Gugush, which is an Iranian singer. Gugush, she's like an Iranian pop singer from like the 70s, 80s. I've got some Wishbone Ash, a seminal prog band whose like album Argus like inspired Iron Maiden and Carcass, like loads of really influential heavy metal bands. Akakaka, System of a Down. I've got a bit of Bolt Thrower. Bit of Immolation. Yeah, we love Bolt Thrower. We love Immolation. Yeah, we have good taste. LOWEN at the moment, they just played Hellfest. Really good bands. I'm gonna just keep saying bands. I'm afraid I just you.
I just got to see Botch last night, and they were one of the first bands that got me into like hardcore when I was like maybe like 16, 17, and I never thought I'd get to see them live because they've been broken up for like 20 years. So getting to see that yesterday was really special for me, and I've been listening to them a lot because of that. Like Nina said, all the bands that Nina mentioned. Like I said, Dying Fetus. We're always listening to Opeth as well.
Yes.
There's always an Opeth album in the mix somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, gosh, there's too many to mention.
Bit of Demolich.
Demolich and Disembowelment, Transcendence into the Peripheral. It's one of my favorite albums. Celtic Frost. We love Tommy G.
Grave Lions. Check out Grave Lions in the UK. They're great. It's me. It's me. I'm Sleep Token.
I think so. I think it's been revealed who he is. Someone was telling me. Yeah.
Okay, we don't know yet.
Maybe it was him.
It's a bit too. I mean, I like a lot of R&B and hip hop, and I like a lot of heavy music. So I think it kind of, for me, it's interesting, and I like it, and I think it's really good. But it doesn't settle on anything long enough for me. You know, I think I'd like to just listen to a lot of R&B and trap artists, things like this, and really dig into a vibe. And I listen to a lot of like brutal death metal and stuff, but I don't think that particular mix does much for me. But it's excellent music. He's an incredible musician, and obviously massively popular for good reasons. So.
Merci beaucoup. J'adore la France.
Désolé.
Thank you so much.